Well, we've got a very special show for you. This is our special Prepper Doomsday Handmaids show.
And now, a whole new way to watch radio. The Dennis George Show. Here's your host, Dennis George.
Blessed be the fruit.
May the Lord open.
Hi.
Welcome to our show. If you're watching us on YouTube, you will see that we are shouting.
You're crazy.
Handmaids. Debbie is just about lost it looks like.
Not all of us have the handmade outfit on.
No, I'm feeling left out.
Well,
May the Lord open.
I don't know. I can maybe do a.
I'm not sure, Denny G, you would get it because you haven't watched it. There you go. Dan. Well, Denny G, you're the commander, so it's fine.
There you go. Right.
Right, it's fine. Have you seen any of the show?
No.
Oh, you got to watch it. Yeah, it's an absolutely crazy show.
It's
Crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Who
Welcome.
told you to watch that show, Dennis?
Yeah, I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, you did.
I still
You
haven't
did.
drunk the cocktails either, so I guess still got the list circled right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Right.
I mean, I'm only 4 years late to the party. The show started in 2017, and now in its fourth season. Fifth season is planned and coming out, but it's a really warped show. So if you haven't seen it, blessed be the fruit.
May the Lord open.
Man,
Well, after
Lord,
seeing you three, I'm not sure I want to watch it.
right,
Oh, Mitchell, I can't see your face very much.
I'm one of those DC handmaids.
right.
Ooh.
It's fine.
Cheers.
It's fine. Cheers. Yeah. So, Handmaid's Tale. I don't know how you would describe the show if people haven't seen it.
Progressive.
I take offense to that comment, being a woman.
We'll go ahead and add women to the list.
Yeah. The best line of the show for me so far is muffins mean yes. That's
Scones are
mean
no.
so if I start dating someone and they start getting just buttloads of muffins, they better look out. I'm just saying. Like, here come the muffins. I'm just saying. And you could rename me the Muffin Man if you want. I'm just saying. That's the thing. That's the thing we're gonna say. That's the way we're gonna roll.
Does that mean my Handmaid's Tale is of little bump?
Ooh, maybe
Handmaid
so.
name.
Maybe so.
I don't know if I like that. It sounds like an STD.
It does sound dangerous.
At least it's little, Sam, not big.
Right.
True. Size
True.
does matter.
Yeah. So Handmaid's Tale is a story that follows handmaids, and specifically one handmaid. But the society has been completely overrun with a new culture. America has basically been transitioned to Debbie, how would you describe it?
It's a
Theocracy.
dystopian future is sort of the generic outlook, and basically due to the fact that infertility has run rampant, that is what has led to this particular setup of government and culture in America.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did it all start? I didn't see the very beginning of how it all began.
Oh, it doesn't. The beginning
They
of the
don't-
show does not show you how it all started.
No,
That
they just
actually-
give you flashbacks.
Piecemealed in flashbacks throughout the episodes. Now, I want to,
Yeah.
before you guys get out of control, I have not watched the most current season.
Okay,
So-
we got to be
Okay.
careful.
I will
Wow.
tell you right now, I will come and beat you to within an inch of your lives if you spoil anything.
I'm just glad I'm getting on a
If you
plane after
spoil
this
it.
episode.
Oh, I thought
Right.
what you guys were wearing was part of the survival outfit for the show.
No, it's actually from the show, The Handmaid's Tale. What they had on at the beginning. Mitch has now changed to take his hat off.
My wings. My
The
wings.
wings. Thank you. I couldn't think of the term. But yeah, that's from the show. That's what the handmaids wear.
We have Aunt Debbie.
Yeah.
I know it's not in the I know this is it. The line I'm going to use, Debbie, is not in the most current season.
Okay.
But I love the episode whenever the commander is very upset and like tells her to get up, and she's laying on the bed, and she's like, "It's actually best if I lay here longer." And I'm like, yes.
I can't think of my other favorite, but one of my favorite lines is, if they didn't want us to be an army, they shouldn't have given us uniforms.
Yeah.
Yes.
So where's this streaming? I forgot. You told me, I think. But,
Hulu.
Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
oh, right. I don't have that. So there you go.
It's
It's on
it
Amazon Prime as well.
Debbie told me to watch it for a while. A friend of mine, Jedediah, told me to watch it for a while, and finally I watched it, and it's very good. It's disturbing at times, and
At
I will
times?
say, I will say that
Right.
there are scenes that are difficult to watch. Although I'm not sure, Debbie, where you are exactly in the series, but there is one episode that finally I cheered because there was some good news, and I actually teared up, and I don't usually tear up for shows. So there was
Oh, you're
finally,
a softie.
finally I was like, man, finally they caught a break, you know. And then I said to Sam, they caught a break. This is great. He goes, just wait, it's fine. It'll go.
There's more bad news to
It'll
come.
it'll get ugly again. Don't worry.
Every time you see the rainbow, poof, the clouds come right back. I'm telling you.
Right.
Many friends of mine have been watching this, had watched it since it came on. And I was also very late to the party because I didn't have Hulu. So very late to the party. But I'll tell you this, that show has led me on one of the biggest emotional roller coasters of my entire life.
Yeah.
And I'm all caught up except for the most current season that just finished very recently. That's the season that I have. That's season 4, right?
Oh, so they're at 4 seasons now?
Yeah. There's
What does
gonna
it
be
cost? What does Hulu cost to stream?
Denny G, they have a deal where you can get 3 months free. Just remember to cancel it.
Yeah, okay, I can do that. Sure.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I like it.
Don't forget to cancel.
I won't forget. I don't forget that stuff.
You can also buy the seasons, I think, on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, and I think Apple sells it too.
Right.
Okay. Well, why buy it if you get it for free, you know?
Right.
Right.
Right. It's and I think my mom probably has read the book. She reads everything. So I wouldn't be surprised. Debbie reads everything too.
My mother has read the book. This is one book I have not yet read, but I want to get to. I just have a full
Is it,
shelf.
do you know, Debbie, is it one book or is it a series?
I thought that my mom said it was only one book, but here's the deal, that she might have only read the first book, not realizing it was part of a series. So I don't know for sure.
Yeah. Well, we've got a really fantastic show for you. We're going to do a quick little break, and I'm going to tell you, we're going to talk. We've got, like I said, it's a Doomsday Prepper show. We've got some really amazing top 10 list for Debbie. She's doing a survival kit for every possible. What?
I have a question.
Yeah.
We skipped right over intros. Are we
Yeah,
not going to do?
We're going to do intros in a second, and
Okay,
I have a little story about that in a second.
Okay.
But right after the break, we're going to do quick little intros, and then that'll allow us to allow me anyway to change out of costume, because I feel like I'm just not going to say what I feel like. Anyway, we'll be right back after these messages.
The Dennis George Show continues after this.
I'm Morgan Freeman. I'm not a doctor, but I trust science. And I'm told that for some reason people trust me. So here I am to say, I trust science and I got the vaccine. If you trust me, you'll get the vaccine. In math, it's called the distributive property. In people, it's called taking care of one another. Get the vaccine. Help make our world a safe place for us to enjoy ourselves again. Please.
The views expressed on Dennis George Show
Are not our own or anyone else's.
Listen at your own risk, and we cannot be held responsible for your ears burning, bleeding, or ringing or the blurred eyesight.
Some things you will not be able to unhear or unsee, and for that,
you are warned.
Do not try anything we suggest or talk about at home, work, or in your car.
A reminder, there are no rules, and our show is intended for mature audience only.
or at a minimum,
Those over your state's or country's legal age of consent.
Any experiments
Jobs, skills, or sexual positions suggested
and or recommended
are for comedy purposes only and should not be tried without supervision.
or a spotter.
safety word or phrase,
Is recommended in advance of trying anything
Any
new.
medical advice
or comments that seem like medical advice,
should be reviewed with your own doctor.
or at least.
Check it on Google like we did.
Thank you, and good luck.
And now, back to the Dennis George Show.
Well, we need to do proper introductions, and I have a funny story about that right after this. Mitch is in the house. Mitch, hello.
Hey, what's up?
Sam is in the house.
Hello. Because they also look a lot like Little Red Riding Hood outfits.
Couldn't hear you over the music. Something about Little Red Riding Hood.
Oh, I was saying that I think that the outfits, they just repurposed them because they look just like Little Red Riding Hood outfits.
Yeah, I think you might be right there. Debbie's here,
Hey, howdy, everybody.
and Denny G is here.
Hello. How's everybody today?
So we're good. So it's really funny because Debbie was not here last week, and the wheels came off the coaster. So first off, we didn't do intros last week either, and I would like to apologize to our listeners because a fair number of you actually wrote me about it. I got a very
They
long.
didn't even know who we were.
We're gonna do listener email.
Yay!
And probably the longest email explaining why we have to do introductions was from Carmen in Lexington, Kentucky. Can't even say it.
Kentucky.
Yes, Carmen wrote us, and we're gonna talk about her email.
I
the last
am
one.
gone 1 week.
Yeah, it was bad.
1 week. And it all goes to hell in a handbag.
It went to hell. It did. It went to hell,
It did.
and there was at least 20 of you wrote with the observation that Debbie's not here, and clearly we couldn't even follow the rules. So
Look what happened.
That's the importance of women.
they did also. It's not exactly right. It's not in the email we're going to read because we have a bunch of email we're going to go through. But there was quite a few people also commented about Mitch's bell. So apparently, I don't remember this. I need to go back and listen back through the show. But apparently, Mitch did his own bell a couple times. So I did.
I didn't think it was that loud.
Right. Well, our listeners, they hear everything somehow. So it's fine. It's fine.
And I love our listeners, especially when they send emails to you about scary things.
Yes.
So all of our listeners, go ahead, do it. That's your homework assignment for the week.
We're going to talk about scary things too. And specifically Sam's question about what is scary music. We have a lot of listeners who wrote about that. So I actually programmed a bunch of examples of scary music. We're gonna cover that in listener email as well. But one thing I wanted to talk about was, you can listen to the show on podcasts, and thank you all for listening. And you can also watch the show on YouTube. We've gotten a fair amount of listener email concerned that maybe we have nail fungus, and I couldn't understand why I was getting these questions. So apparently, a nail fungus commercial has decided to run a lot more in our show. So I just want to apologize for that. Like, we don't.
No, they look fantastic.
Yeah, we don't get to select what runs commercial-wise in the YouTube shows. So I apologize.
Got some stories on nail fungus, though.
That's okay, Denichi. We can.
Yay! Let's share.
Although it is a prepper doomsday survival show, so you could survive the fungus. But I just want to point it out to those of you that have been concerned by the increase of nail fungus commercials that we do not have nail fungus. So
true.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, fine. Fine. The other thing I wanted to point out, which was kind of interesting, and a shout out to them as well. I just to get into the bedroom for a second. I
not. Bell, Debbie, bell.
I have. Debbie's got the bell. She's ready. I have a bed called Flow Bed. Now it's a system. I guess best way to explain it. It's latex mattresses. It's going to sound weird the way I'm saying it.
Is it a heavy flow bed?
Mitchell.
Apologize. Right.
Yes, they are heavy. They are
They're
heavy.
very heavy. They're
Made
very
with
heavy.
Talalay latex.
Talalay latex, and I've had it for probably, I don't know, 17 or 18 years, and it's really fantastic. And it was recommended to me by my dad, and I believe he's got one, and he's recommended other people. I recommended other people, in fact, quite a few, and they have purchased the beds, and people love it as well. Anyway, the story is, I was, and sorry to be so long about it, I'm sort of doing like a Debbie story, I just go on and on. Anyway, so
Apologize to
like,
Debbie again.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. Apologize to Debbie. Anyway,
Debbie was
fourth
gone for
time.
1 week and she's like at the top of the apology list.
I mean, how many
missed
times is this?
her.
Is like 5 times?
Right.
I
for
missed her. I missed Debbie.
I'm not so sure I should be here now. I might have to hang up.
I
Uh,
would accept
Cheat
a
it,
flow
come
bed
on.
if somebody wants to
No,
share.
God love you. God love you. So I called Flow Bed this week because I needed to get just one replacement piece, and I'm giving the guy my name. And
You
Dennis
kind of
George,
told me this. You needed a topper, right?
yeah, I needed a top. And so I told the guy, hey, you got to help me out here. And he said, well, why don't you call Mitch? And I said, no, let's stay focused. So anyway, I was like, look, he said to me, okay, we can ship this to you. What's your address? What's your name? He's looking up in the long pause. And he's like, wait a minute, Dennis George? And you're in St. Louis? I said, do you have a podcast by any chance?
Shut up.
And I'm like, yes, I do. And you hear him like long pause, and then you hear him. He kind of puts the phone to the side. He yells across the office, "Hey, this is the guy from the podcast, the Dennis George guy." Like, it was pretty fantastic. So hello
Everywhere.
to the Flowbeds people who listen.
Hey, flow bed.
Hello, Flowbeds. We love your product. Flowbeds.com. Fantastic bed.
I'd
FLO.
love to try your bed.
Yeah, FLOBED. And it is fantastic. So hello to all you. That's a small world, I guess. So that was kind of exciting for sure. But yeah, we did forget to introduce people, Debbie. I kind of blame you, I guess, because
Apologize to Debbie again.
Debbie again.
All right, add Debbie back to the apology list.
How in the world do you equate that with me being?
Here's the thing,
Stop.
Debbie. It's
Because you weren't there.
to blame
Stop.
you than for him to take personal responsibility. All right.
That's
And I second that approach. All right.
Yeah,
It's so
exactly.
much easier to blame somebody else than to take personal
the
responsibility.
other thing, Debbie, that you need to point out is you were not here last episode. So here's the deal. It's 2 doses of Debbie. It's a double dose because she wasn't here last week. So I'm just saying.
I think that's hashtag, right?
Yeah.
What is it with the hashtag? Those 2 peace signs crossing for a hashtag? What?
Because
Debbie.
Dennis is asking for a pounding.
Right.
All right.
Oh, Debbie, it's fine. So it's fantastic.
What did you just
Put
say?
me on the list again. For God's
Again,
sake.
yes.
It's fine. Did you miss us?
I did until about, I don't know, 10 minutes ago.
Right.
By the
We
way, a lot
started
of
the
listeners,
show.
a lot of listeners missed you as well, and they said that the show was not balanced, and they could easily see that we get off the rails real easily.
Right.
so anyway, we
So I
missed-
have to say that I was visiting my family, so I was
Yeah.
back home, and I have an aunt that lives in Alaska, and she was in town last week, so I wanted to make sure I got home.
Nice.
So I was hanging out with the fam and everything, and on the day that we were taping, they were taping the show, I thought to myself, I was actually at church, and I thought to myself, please, Lord, help and guide those boys to make a good show without me, because I am afraid.
That's
I
so
am
kind of
Lord
you.
truly
answer all
afraid.
prayers. The Lord answers them all. Just
Yeah.
sometimes the answer's no.
Right, that's true. Yeah, it's absolutely true. So we did miss you. Many listeners missed you. Obviously, our format missed you, so we're glad to have you back for sure.
I don't understand how introductions became responsibility. I don't get it.
I think the attitude is when Debbie's away, the mice will play. Like it's like we can get away with more because there's no restraint.
Like I'm the one cracking any kind of whip on formatting and everything. I just want to put that out there for everyone to
Raise your
understand.
hand if you have threatened to drive over to Dennis's house and beat him senseless during the show.
Oh, yes, you have not threatened to beat yourself.
No, but I'm willing to learn. I'm just saying. It's fine. It's fine. It's completely fine.
See, that's why, Debbie. You're the only one who's been like, I will drive over there.
It's true.
Tell me that you all don't need it occasionally, that little threat. Tell me you don't need it.
Oh, yeah. No, we
it's
need
important. It's
I'm
important.
just not afraid of it.
We need the bell. We need the whip. Oh, yes, you are.
You're so cute.
One little piece of weird people news. And this is why I will never go to Australia. Now, I think I've told this story before.
Just this reason.
No, I was going to say, I think I've told this story before. When I was in the hospital for a procedure, Mitch had control of the TV in my hospital room, which was a mistake.
You're welcome, world.
Point
You
that
are
out.
welcome.
And there was a
to the apology list.
documentary. Yeah, there's a documentary about Australia that he would not switch the channel from, and it literally documented every possible known dangerous thing they have in Australia. Tarantulas.
It was like a million ways to die in the West.
Yeah,
right? But the real version.
It was awful. But at that point,
Australia.
yeah, right. At that point, I had decided there's no way in hell I'm going to Australia ever. But anyway, in Australia, residents in Victoria found their towns, a whole region, blanketed in cobwebs resulting from spiders fleeing from flood conditions. They've had a lot of floods this spring. Photos and videos captured multiple towns in the Gippsland region show fields, homes, and trees covered in spider silk. Now, I made the mistake of Googling this. Now, let me just say,
You can't unsee those images.
No, do not Google this. When they say a blanket of cotton, it's everywhere.
It's pretty cool.
It's
pretty.
No, it's not cool.
It is the quintessential haunted house Halloween display.
It's awful. Apparently now, professor of an ecologist from the University of Sydney told a news report that it's surprisingly common after floods because they come up out of the whatever and they've got to build homes, which they call ballooning. That's what the phenomenon's called, which involves spiders using strands of silk to ride on gusts of wind. I can't think of any other thing I would hate more than a spider coming at me riding on a silk thing in the wind. I'm just saying.
They don't come at you.
How about a swarm of them, Dennis?
Oh, I just can't.
You know, I've got a Ring video camera.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting outside the house, and there's a spider out there that runs webs every night, and it's enough to trigger the camera.
Wow.
Even the webs will do it because it's very, very close to the sensor. And sometimes you can see him going up and down, casting the web. It's really quite entertaining. If I get one sometime, I'll put it back here in my background.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
It's pretty.
No, but thank you.
Wait. I have to speak up really quickly because in my mind, as Dennis was talking about the spiders, you know, basically with their little webs catching the wind, all I could think of was paratroopers and that spider going, "We're going for him," and pulling the cords to move them towards them.
Debbie, the funny thing is you got to think of like where the spider silk comes out on a spider. So you're kind of like, if you're doing this, if you're a spider, you're really ass over tea kettle right now.
It's true. That's true.
Well, think about the silk things you wear. You know, that all comes from silkworms.
I have left.
But it's funny because like whenever I walk through a spider web, it's sticky. But whenever I wear something silk, it's soft.
Well, spiders and silkworms are different.
Thank God for that. Yeah. I don't mind silk pajamas, but I will tell you something. I have given a room over to a spider. If there's a spider that shows up in the room, I'm out of here. They can have the room. It's fine. It's completely fine.
I like spiders because they'll take care of other varmints in your house, like roaches and things like that.
Okay, then don't have other varmints in your house. Like,
No.
deal with the situation.
No, I like spiders and I like centipedes. They can roam the house all they want.
Dennis, you do understand that roaches are going to outlive us all, right? And even though you try to handle that situation, those little boogers are coming back regardless.
I spray my house every year.
Cheryl will live longer than all of us.
We
When
have
I've
no
s-
roaches.
When I've seen a bug, I bomb my house, the whole house.
And that's fine, Dennis, but I guarantee you there are bugs in your house. I guarantee it.
Oh, that's not what I need
Yep.
here.
There are probably a lot of them in your bedroom as well.
Okay, a Nebraska man set a new world
Behind
record by
your bed.
completing. Stop
Right.
it.
Let's talk about that for just a second. So the flow beds, because they're TLA latex, they prohibit the growth of things like mites and things in your bedding.
Yeah.
And bed bugs and stuff like that. So there you
Better
go.
for you. Yeah, absolutely.
So not in
I
Dennis'
need to get a
bed.
flow bed.
Not in the bed.
There's
But
nothing.
above-
All over the carpet.
There's nothing crawling around in my bed.
No, they're crawling all over your eyebrows though.
He's gonna get a bid for a latex home soon.
Oh my god.
What is it? They say that a bug crawls across your face like 4 or 5 times a year while you sleep.
Oh, okay. In other weird people news, a Nebraska man set a new world record by completing 60 skydiving jumps in 24 hours naked. Completely naked. Apparently, now I didn't know this, but apparently in the skydiving world, your 100th jump, this is sort of a thing, you should do your 100th skydiving jump naked. Now, this just opens up a whole new world for me. I've never once wanted to hang out at skydiving schools, but I might want to do that now. So I'm just saying this might be, a hobby. I'm just saying. But I
I
can't
can only
imagine.
imagine how much your stuff would get stretched.
Yeah, and the ropes and the strapping and I know someone in my life who likes ropes and stuff, but I don't think skydiving is. No.
I imagine naked falling into a tree. This doesn't
Debbie-
sound like a good.
Debbie
Or
just rang the bell.
cactus.
There's the bell. We heard the bell. The bell was ringing.
I haven't heard the bell.
It might be silk ropes, right, Dennis?
Maybe. Oh, maybe that's
Ooh,
true. I
silk
don't know.
ropes. Those have got to be comfortable.
I've never
You don't want to
been.
leave bruises and marks, man.
Right?
Well, some people do.
Unless you're into
You know?
that kind of
From
thing.
that silk rope.
Debbie upgraded her bell.
Are we still talking about skydiving? I'm confused.
Move along.
I don't
Move
think so.
along. Move
Fine.
along.
I wasn't sure either.
Aren't
After
shoots made out of silk or something like that? Or maybe not.
shoots? Oh yeah, the parachutes. Yeah, right. Yeah,
Maybe.
I think they are. I think you're right. Yeah. We're gonna do a quick little break, and then Debbie's gonna tell us top 10 kits that you can buy to survive any situation. So these are survival kits, which they're interesting. So this is going to be lots of good conversation here. But first, here's a message from Audible.
Hey, Malcolm, your podcast on Audible, right?
That's right. And your new audiobook.
I mean, they got everybody on here. Jane Austen, John Cena, sleep stories, meditation.
Show.
I mean, can you imagine a more fascinating place than Audible?
No, I've done the research.
You've done the research. Of course you have. Is that a piano? I want to play you something.
Can I pet your dog?
I wouldn't.
The most inspiring minds, the most compelling stories, all in one place. Audible.
Find us online at DennisGeorgeShow.com.
Hey there, catch us 24/7 on social media. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Good Pods. On Alexa and Google Assist, say, play Dennis George Show podcast.
If you have a question or comment, send us an email at podcast@DennisGeorgeShow.com. Or if you're just looking for a date. If we read your question or comment on the show, we'll send you a Dennis George Show t-shirt. That's podcast@DennisGeorgeShow.com. Now back to the show.
So I was looking through the list. I cheated, and I'm kind of a prepper. Like I'm a little bit of a prepper.
There's a difference between a prepper and a hoarder.
True.
That's a fair point. I don't think that I'm a hoarder. I don't think that I'm a hoarder. But I am a prepper for sure, I think. Not to the extreme as the show Doomsday Preppers, which I have watched. But I was kind of looking at the list thinking, do I need these kits? You would need a lot of space for all these kits, Debbie.
Yes. I'm not sure
sure what you want me to say to that.
Oh no, I'm just saying.
Take it away, Debbie.
I mean, honestly, it's not like you're going to buy every single one of these kits. So some of these kits are very specific. So if you're not going to be in a situation where you would need this particular kit, you're not going to buy.
And none of the kits had alcoholic beverages in them.
That's a good point.
How dare they?
We need a Margaritaville. Yeah, we're gonna need a Margaritaville survival kit.
We should create our own Margaritaville survival pack.
I agree.
When the power goes out of my house, I'm in a swimming pool with alcohol, man. Invite the neighbors over, and that's what we do.
I guarantee you that Margaritaville
Unless it's winter.
kit would go gangbusters.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. What do you got for us? Yeah.
Number 10 is called the Out in the Wilderness Survival Kit. It contains a whistle to signal your location and to ward off wild animals, a wood cutter to make splinters fire-worthy, a tactical pen for self-defense and peace of mind.
Is that like...
I don't know. Let me get through the last one. Rescue blankets to protect you against all the elements. The tactical pen is the only thing that I really question in that kit, in part because I don't know what a tactical pen is.
Yeah. Maybe it's got a blade attached to it or something. I mean, stop or I'll write you a note. I mean, I don't.
I did not do the research to figure out exactly what a tactical pen is. So I apologize.
Well, the pen is mightier than the sword.
Well, and that's true. There's a one item for sure that's missing in the survival kit from Out in the Wilderness, which would be an RV. So I think if you added that to the list, it would help.
Okay, an RV defeats the Out in the Wilderness phrase of that one to begin with.
And I think the RV actually defeats the need for the survival pack. If you have the RV, you have not reached the oh crap point in your life where you need the survival kit.
These are technical points.
So I've looked up a tactical pen for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it is like a mold. It's kind of like a Swiss Army knife-ish, right? But it also is a pin as well. It's more like a pin style instead of a pocket knife, but it has a lot of different tools and gadgets so you can use it.
Okay, that makes sense.
That way you can write your goodbye notes when you're about ready to die.
Right, you write goodbye notes. I like it.
Help! All right, number 9, stranded in the middle of the ocean kit. Dennis, you need this one for your cruise.
I need this for the cruise, yeah.
Okay, so a soulless flare that burns brighter and longer to signal help, an emergency space blanket or blankets for maximum warmth, alkaline battery for lights, comprehensive guide to marine medicine handbook, and a standard VHF radio to communicate with nearby ships.
How about a raft?
The book.
Right? How come a raft is not included in this kit?
You need something to be.
I'm assuming that they think you're already in a raft, and this is the kit you want to take with you in the raft when you're stranded in the middle.
How come this wasn't already in the raft? All right, if you have the raft, it's like the emergency life preserver. This should just be like in a little cubby hole in the emergency life preserver.
All right, Titanic, they were floating on a door, so I mean, I could see that might be a challenge.
Then let's look at that situation. All right, if the ship is going down like that, do you have time? Hold on. Let me go get my emergency stuck at sea kit. All right, I'll be right back. Y'all just keep bailing water to hold it afloat till I get back.
Time out! I need my emergency stuck in the middle of the ocean kit.
Yeah, why isn't there a life vest in that thing?
Right.
I guess they're assuming that if you're
preppers kit.
I assume that the assumption is that you can swim if you are going out in the middle of the ocean.
Okay. That's a good point, Debbie. There should be a how to swim video.
Requires electricity.
Something to watch it on.
Yeah, don't forget the batteries so you can watch the video.
All right.
How about a pamphlet on how to swim?
A what?
A pamphlet on how to swim.
A pamphlet?
A laminated pamphlet.
Like a
not a pamphlet?
Yeah.
What's a pamphlet? I don't know what a pamphlet is.
Like
I know what a pamphlet is.
Like a brochure.
Get him, Debbie. Get him.
A pamphlet. Great. All right. Number
pamphlet.
8.
Right.
Number 8. After party of a lifetime kit. Now wait to listen to the stuff before you ask any questions.
All right.
Ponchos to keep the stinging wind away. Flashlight torch stash to light your way in unfamiliar territory. Earplugs to keep all the unwanted noise out. Spork to help you dig into whatever festival food is easiest to digest.
When I
had lots of questions about this one because the name threw me for a loop, and then I read the stuff and I went, I am 1,000% more confused than I was when I started.
So when it says festival food, it meant to me that you're at a festival. So that's the party of a lifetime. You're like at Woodstock or something.
And that's finally where I put it together. I was like, after party. I'm like, okay, so we want Pedialyte.
Right. Yes.
Tylenol.
Bail bonds.
Wait,
All right.
that list comes later. Wait,
okay.
That one's on here.
Bail bonds list.
Local bail bonds, always with you. Print the list off before you leave for your festival. Number 7 is a roadside kit. Cables for reviving a dead battery. Heavy duty tow rope for the push when all hope is lost.
How do you revive it if it's dead? Like you need another.
Dennis, be quiet. I am not finished yet.
All right.
Tire pressure gauge to measure tires for stability. And car toolkit for every need. So I can tell that I have been gone because Dennis is already stinking out of control.
It's true. So Debbie, here's the question on this deal. I mean, if I break down on the side of the road, thank God I've got the tire gauge. I'm just saying, like, that's on my list.
Yeah, you don't need the tire gauge.
It's her.
She's not amused. She's not amused. She's not frozen.
Okay,
She's not amused.
I thought maybe she froze. Oh God, I missed her. That's great.
Are you done?
Yeah.
No, wait, Dennis, you're done.
I'm done.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You know what
All
they
right.
don't have here, though? I'm not done. What they don't have here is like warning lights or anything like that. You know, if you're stuck in the middle of the night on the highway and you're dead, the battery's dead.
I have a warning light. I have my battery cables. I do not have a tow rope, but I do have a tire pressure gauge.
Yeah. You know, the other thing, I've got one of those.
People will find you.
Emergency seatbelt cutters, and it's got a hammer to break a window and all that. Not that I could fit through the window.
Is it in your trunk?
I was about to say, where's this kit? All right.
No, it's in the center console.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to go to number 6, but I'm going to say, let me get through the list before you start making comments, please.
Okay.
Bring it on.
We'll
$20.
try.
Dennis can't do it.
Right.
Maybe not on this one, but I think there's a couple more that he might not be able to restrain himself. So number
I bet he
6.
can, and I'll split it with you, Dennis.
Okay.
Number
You hose
6.
me 100.
Number 6 is the pet survival kit. So dog food enough for 1 dog or 2 cats, clean water for hydration, and shelter for your little friend's best comfort.
I like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for how long? Food for how long?
It's just for, I'm assuming it's only 1 day, but I don't know. It doesn't say the length of time.
So it's a different thing if you got a toy poodle or a Leon burger.
Right.
Yes, the amount of food that you carry should be proportionate to the pet with whom you are traveling.
Right.
All right, number 5, end of world kit. If Dennis doesn't already have this, I'd be shocked. All right, so medical suppliers to dress any wound, fishing tools for scouring food in nearby waterways, and the perfect outdoor gear set.
So I do have a kit that's like this. And it has medical supplies in it, tourniquet, blood clotting stuff that the military uses, two-way radios, batteries, flares, aspirin. It does not have fishing tools.
How are you going to get food?
That's interesting.
And plus, how are you going to sew somebody up if they need stitches?
Does not have little shot holes in it either, I'll bet.
I once saw a video on how to spearfish. So I think I could,
you could do that. All right. I'm going to want to see this.
I am going to
All right, Tom Hanks.
I'm going to take Dennis fishing, and I'm going to take him someplace where he can spearfish. And tape it so that everybody can enjoy this.
And if you want to go fishing, you're going to go way over there.
He'll be spearfishing Sam, so as long as I stay next to him or behind him, I should be fine.
You would think, Debbie.
Well, I'm thinking if you're going to try to get any fish, because Dennis is probably going to get in the water, and he's going to be splashing around, which no fish are going to be near him at all.
I say put the fish in your hot tub.
Yeah.
See if you can do it there. You don't have to get in the ocean. We want
to practice first.
It's called a fish boil.
Dennis, I think we just need to do like spear fishing for charity. All right.
I like it.
You start taking out challenges like, see, get people like, give you $100 every spear. And then we'll see how many you can get.
I like it.
All right. Number 4, newborn survival kit. Scissors for cutting delicate fingernails, nail files and clippers, special baby brush and comb to smoothen hair without hurting the scalp, nasal aspirator and drug feeder. Wait, one more. Finger toothbrush for gently cleaning the baby's teeth and gums.
Earplugs.
Earplugs are good.
What about the butter?
Right.
What was this title called?
Newborn survival kit.
Okay, so what I originally thought is that if you were pregnant and you were going to go out in the wilderness to go hiking, what you would need to give birth to a newborn. So I liked the scissors, but I was thinking it was going to be for the umbilical cord cutting.
You know what's interesting about this kit is it opens up a whole new thought process for me, which is that I did not know with babies that you would even have different kinds of nail files, clippers, drug feeder, finger toothbrush. I never even knew that there was a line of stuff specifically for babies that was more gentler. I had no clue.
Thank God you don't have a child.
I had no idea.
Thank God for small favors there on that one.
Yeah.
Like you have to give the baby aspirin? My bad.
No.
I thought God I could just grind it up and put it up their nose.
Ew.
Too far?
Yeah, ring the bell.
Apologize to babies.
We're gonna get listener email on that one.
That one totally took me by surprise, so much so I couldn't even move for the bell. That shocked me so much.
It was the grinding up the nose. Got it.
Perrin tablets.
Number 3, hangover day after kit.
Yes.
Packets to restart your body faster than water alone. Stomach relievers to calm the storm brewing in your bowels.
Ooh.
Makeup remover wipes for the ladies. Mint, gum, and Tic Tacs for fresh breath. Pain relievers to dull a pounding headache. Eye drops to eliminate irritation and sleepy eyes.
Yeah.
What else would you add if there was something else?
Hair of the dog.
Yeah. A shot.
So some more alcohol.
Some Pedialyte.
Bottle of Jaeger.
Yeah, Pedialyte's good. Yeah.
Anything greasy. I mean, like bacon.
White Castle.
White Castle burger.
White Castle. Oh.
Not a White Castle fan. I'd much rather go to a diner and have like chicken fried steak with
a slinger.
Hash browns. Yeah. Oh, a slinger. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're ever been to St. Louis, there's a food they make here. It's called a slinger, and if you're not hungover, it will give you a heart attack.
I had one of those yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. Right the ship.
Yeah, but at Kingside with an Impossible Meat burger.
So tell us what's a slinger. Give us the layer.
So a slinger is 2 beef patties, hash browns, chili, onion, cheese. I know I'm missing stuff. Toast.
I get mine with a little bit of jalapeno too.
Yeah, and then you have the regular chili toppings like jalapenos, onions. Yeah.
I think there was a place here in St. Louis for a long time. It was well known. It was in Union Station back in the day when it was operating as an old time train shed. It was called O.T. Hodges, and they made the slinger very popular in St. Louis for people traveling through St. Louis. But it was so it was eggs and then cheese, and then chili. I don't think there was much else on it. I think
There's meat.
Yeah, you gotta have meat on it.
Oh, yeah.
I bet that train didn't smell very good after everybody had that in St. Louis.
Well, they all had it, so it smelled the same for everyone.
Mm-hmm. And O.T. Hodges is also downtown too. They had some out in the county downtown. They had several of them.
Yeah, they're still in business, just not that location at Union Station since they changed.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
But no, that'll definitely right the ship. It's
Clear
amazing.
all the toxins in the body.
It clears everything out of the body.
Clearing comes later. All right.
I'll go.
Oh, the colon blow.
The Operation Colon Blow happens about 12 hours later.
Right.
All right, I got 2 more to do, guys. Number 2 is the Bridezilla kit. Makeup bag that won't be easily missed amid the wedding hassles. A cache of makeup and hair supplies the bride and her maids need for the entire day. And 100 bobby pins.
Yeah, I would add Valium.
I would add granola bars, actually. Because I mean, like they get ready, then they start taking pictures, and there's the ceremony. Then they want more pictures, and they're the ones who are like walking around the most, and they're getting the least amount of food.
I would.
And
And
you
if
know,
they did it
someone's
right,
gonna
they have
die
alcohol, too.
with them.
Yeah, I would add food most definitely to that. Whether it's granola bars or maybe some like peanut M&Ms,
Trail mix,
you know,
yeah.
something that gives you, that would be my other
Some
suggestion. And
protein.
then water. I would also add water in there too, because I've been with some brides. Trust me, they need to stay hydrated.
But not a Chipotle burrito.
No.
Yep.
Well, maybe a Pedialyte thing too, like for the hangover.
Yeah.
It'll make things come out like hot lava.
Right. That's where I was.
I have a really good hangover bride story, but I will not tell it right now because she listens to the show and I'm not sure she wants me to share it. So
Well, ask permission and then maybe
gotta get approval.
I will ask. I didn't realize that this was going to come up in conversation. So
this would be a great segment in the future. So if you're a listener and you want to write in, podcast at Dennis George Show, tell us your bride story, and we will share that. Those are fantastic.
all right, number 1, public restroom survival kit.
Oh, there's so many
Toilet
things.
seat covers for protection. Charmin Fresh Mates to-go wipes that work better than dry tissue paper. On-the-go hand wipes that are handy when there's no soap or water. Compressed towel tablets. And discreet carrying case for all your essentials.
Well, now let's talk about the seat covers for a second. So I have read reports that the bathroom seat is actually the cleanest part of the bathroom. Like it's not as dirty as people think in terms of
Don't
dirt.
lick it.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat off of it. I'm just saying. But I've not heard that they're that bad. Obviously you want to clean it if it's dirty, but I'm saying in general when it's not dirty.
But how do you clean it? Like, if it is dirty, let's
Mhm.
just hypothetically, even if it's just urine on the seat,
Mhm.
how are you technically cleaning it to making it satisfactory for you to?
Well,
put
see,
your
I would
glove
combine
on?
these items. Instead of the toilet seat cover for protection, I would just eliminate that and use the on-the-go hand wipes to clean the seat. Because I'll assume that there's some sort of sanitized wipe.
And as long as you throw them in the trash, the same thing with those Fresh Mates too. You don't want to flush those down the toilet.
Or the compressed towel tablet. You don't want to throw that out there.
You make those fatbergs if you do.
I just
when we went canoeing in high school, we had those little miniature tampons that they had. And what we would do is we would just take a razor blade and we would just cut a little bit of the plastic off so the rest of the plastic is on it. And you chuck those at someone in the water during the canoe trip. And when they hit the water, they explode with the force of a firecracker. And you get the ones that are like biodegradable so you don't have to pick them up. Fantastic.
Why were you getting tampons?
Well, we wanted to be able to throw things at people, and so it allowed us to throw stuff at people. And
So tampons, that's where we go. All right,
Right.
not ice. All right, we go to tampons.
Mm.
I mean, you know, you can get fruit, blueberries, grapes, apples.
I don't know.
Oh, water balloons, really?
Yeah, water balloons.
I'm not sure who came up with it, but they worked.
But no, we're going with tampons.
Debbie, you all right?
no, I'm not. I'm really not.
Okay. All right.
I also want to state as a woman, you are taught to hover.
So you don't put your hind end on the toilet
Right.
seat. You hover
Right.
over the toilet seat to use the restroom.
Really?
You don't make contact. You hover.
Like a helicopter?
Yeah, it's a great butt workout.
Exactly. And
Do
we
you
sit
make the
there and we go
noise?
the whole time we're hovering over the toilet.
That's what I mean, the little helicopter noise.
They only make that noise so everybody else doesn't hear what they're doing.
That's brilliant, Debbie. You should do a video in the bathroom and make this sound for somebody.
I'm gonna die.
Next door.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah, I think Debbie's on her way to your house.
I'm gonna pick up my keys and I'll see you in about 10 minutes.
Oh, you can get there faster than that. I
This
have.
is true. This is very true. Yeah.
Got to stop for some tools of destruction first.
So
I have all those at my house.
I'm about to say, no, she got those.
I know some people who refuse to use a public restroom. Like they will absolutely not use a public restroom.
That's not good for you.
Yeah.
Well, they just
Not
use the
good for you to hold
outdoors.
yourself.
Right. No, they just won't do it. They just
Hold it.
I don't know. I don't know if you call it a phobia, but they just simply
Yeah.
won't do it. You know, in their minds, it's maybe they have, a sanitary phobia or germ phobia. I don't know.
Well, what do you do when you're traveling long distances? Maybe they don't ever travel.
Right.
You take a 6-hour flight somewhere. Okay.
Or take a portable something with you.
Oh yeah. I should check on checked in baggage. What do you got there, sir? I got a toilet with me because I don't want to use a bathroom on the plane.
You have a phobia.
Just gonna put it in my
sheet
here
Whip it out right here in the aisle.
Right.
Look, I'm a big kid now. I'm using the big toilet.
Somebody's walking down the aisle. Excuse me, sir. Can you stop popping a squat right here? I've got to go.
Can you store that carry-on?
bag is full.
Can you imagine doing that and hitting turbulence?
Can you store that carry-on, sir? Yeah. Oh my God. Well,
Well,
Debbie,
that's a
thank you.
list.
Yep, thank you, Debbie. That's great. We have got an epic listener email, a whole bunch of them after the break. So stick around. These are pretty epic. All of your emails, we went through them and we got some of the really good ones. So stick around.
The Dennis George Show continues after this.
Check out our YouTube channel. It's a whole new way to watch radio, where you can find each episode of our show. Just search Dennis George Show. Like us and subscribe. See you there.
Hey, this is Mitch from The Dennis George Show. If you have a question, comment, new sexual position, things I should do with Dennis's mom, or looking for a date, or even looking for a date with Dennis's mom, send us an email at podcast@dennisgeorgeshow.com. If we read your question or comment on the air, we'll send you a t-shirt. That's podcast@dennisgeorgeshow.com. And now, back to the show.
Lots of good email. I think I mentioned at the top of the show, Carmen K. from Lexington, Kentucky wrote, last show, by the way, she was not the only person who pointed this out. Many of you pointed out Debbie's absence and that you missed her. So good thing to her. A couple people actually volunteered to ring the bell next time in her absence. I thought that was funny.
Everybody wants to do the bell.
Everyone wants to do the bell. Quote, last show you forgot to do everyone's intro. I had to tell my husband who everyone was, so now I need a show credit. He loves the show. He's a newbie. I have been listening ever since the beginning. Yeah, she says, I've been listening
Thank you.
ever since the beginning. We need a special fan club section for us inaugural listeners, she wrote. So I'm not sure where we would put that section, but
Have we come up with a name yet? Because didn't we at one point ask?
we've asked people.
Yeah.
You know, we've asked people, and we've not gotten responses that are readable on the air. So if you have
I like that response. We haven't
That should be a top 10 list.
Right. So if you have a
Yes.
suggestive nickname for what our fans should be called, other than crazy, you can go ahead and write us a podcast.
But that's fair.
Couple of you have picked up the observation either one show or a couple shows ago. Sam made a comment about what kind of scary music was it really that I heard that I would then know don't watch. So many of you,
makes it scary.
What makes it scary was Sam's question, and many of you, 5 or 10 of you, picked up on that and asked that same question in various forms, but that question was asked. So I thought I'd go ahead and play a couple examples of movies that would be no-go if you heard this music. Okay, so these are serious no-go sounds that if this plays before any visuals happen, if this plays, you know to switch the channel. These are examples of that.
Okay.
I'm out of there.
It sounds like a meditation sound.
Yeah, that's not meditation. So
sounds like an echo down a drainage tunnel.
Yeah, okay, that's not what's going on there. That's called a misleading movie. If you think that's what that is. Here's another one. Now this is kind of a classic, but it gets used a lot. So I'm out of there. Is it? I don't care if it's piano lessons. I don't care if it's
Yeah, it's Halloween. It's Michael Myers.
Right. Anything like that, I'm out. Here's the other one. I'm gone. Like that's just. And it isn't just the keys. It's kind of the echoey behind there.
This is creepy clown music for Dennis.
You're right. It might be a clown in a sewer.
I'm out.
Yeah.
They float.
Yep. This, I'm out.
See, I disagree with that one because I feel like that one might be an action movie too.
That's them tricking you with a little bit of a rock background. Like that's what that is. They're like, let's tease them just a little bit right before we slash them. Hear that? That in the background there. You heard that?
Again?
That sounds something like a King Kong thing, you know?
Like, get the hell out of there. Yeah, you just gotta. That trailing echo.
After hearing all of these, the only thing that you do watch is Disney movies, and you don't even watch those.
Oh.
It's fine. It's completely fine. Regarding whales, we talked about whales last week. To bring Debbie up to speed, there was a story on the East Coast of a swimmer, a scuba diver, who was swallowed whole by a whale, and he got spit out by the whale. And we had an interesting question from Jill N. in Portsmouth, and Portsmouth is an East Coast town. She wants to know, quote, if being swallowed by a sperm whale is a double entendre. That was her question.
Good question.
It's a fair question. I had to Google what a double entendre was. A double entendre is a word or phrase open to two interpretations, one of which usually is risque or indecent. He was, quote, and here's the example, he was unable to get through 2 consecutive sentences without a smutty double entendre. So that's the use. So she wants to know if being swallowed by a sperm whale is a double entendre. Yes, it is.
Could be.
Yep. Ben writes, this has got to be one of the funnier emails that we got, for sure. And this takes us back, boy, at least 10 weeks ago, probably. Ben writes, Dennis, our whole family did your walking through the woods test, and we too saw a show pony. So I don't. So if you recall that episode, we had a test where if you were walking through the woods, you close your eyes and you imagine walking through the woods, and if you saw a scary dog behind you, it meant that you were psychotic, that you would be a serial killer or hurt people. That was the test. Several people, I think Denny G said he saw. I had to go back and listen to the show, but Denny G said he saw a cocktail server with someone with a drink, And Debbie said she saw me behind her. So
that's because you were the one doing the talking while we were doing this exercise.
Right. It's fantastic. Fair. Fantastic. Bob S. writes, thank you for your animal cracker segment. It renewed our family's love for them.
Bringing families together, man. That's what we're here for.
But it's true because I had forgotten. I don't remember how we even got on the animal cracker subject, but it's true. I hadn't had animal crackers in decades, so it definitely was fun for sure.
It was Armageddon that brought us all back.
Yeah, but there was some reason we. Oh, maybe that was it. Yeah, we mentioned the movie or something. Yeah, probably talking about planets.
Yeah, probably.
And how you thought it was scary.
I thought somebody sent you a bunch of animal crackers.
You're right. Right. Jerry T from Miami Beach, Florida writes, quote, this is to be very clear, this is a quote. Jerry T from Miami Beach, Florida. Hi, Jerry. Quote, to Mitch, who referred to our state as America's Wang here in Florida. Now, I don't remember him doing that.
Oh, yeah, I've done it.
Okay, all right. He said,
apologize to him again. Just
right, probably so. He said, here in Florida, I just want to point out that we are carrying all the water for all of you up north by peeing on Cuba. That was his response.
Interesting take, yes.
We'll apologize to Cuba for
maybe,
He's not wrong. But I'm actually also about ready to go to Florida.
There you go.
Actually,
Well,
as soon as we're done with this podcast, I'm out.
Yeah.
Or is it the semen?
Ooh, all right, Sam. Molly T from Indianapolis wrote, oh, I forgot to do the dial-up sound for our email. I think we could skip that this time, right?
Did you actually get broadband?
Right.
You messed up the format again.
I know.
And Debbie's here. You can't blame this on her.
Molly T from Indianapolis wrote,
moving right over it.
Yep. Molly's from Indianapolis. We tried ordering the Mick Gangbang at our local McDonald's here in Indiana. They had no idea what it was. We had to educate them, and everyone had a great laugh. I got the gangbang I finally wanted.
Awesome.
Oh my God, it is so good too.
New menu item.
And that's another example of a double entendre. I'm just throwing that out there.
I just think it's really the Hoosier state. They don't know what a gangbang is.
You may be right. Well, we're making friends.
Indiana.
We're making friends everywhere. Not only is there a run on animal crackers, but McDonald's is starting to question their menu nationwide. Yes. John T. You may remember John T. He actually is accompanied by Bars by Revolution in the UK. We did a segment of top 10 worst drinks ever, and we questioned on the show whether those drinks were real, and he responded, thanks for including us, and that sort of thing. And he said, yes, in fact, all those drinks are real. Like, they make those drinks. Those are real drinks.
Let's go to the UK. Let's try them out.
Yep.
Yeah, invite us.
Someone wrote this as anonymous, and I think that probably it's a mom. I'm just going to throw that out there, that this might be a mom who says this. I agree.
The moms, Debbie.
Quote, I agree. Children are good with lots of butter. As Mitch said, according to Anonymous.
Or chips.
Yeah, or chips, right. Sarah in Milwaukee, Wisconsin writes, you all promised a fondue recipe from Debbie's fondue parties. Still waiting. And you also need a list of all of Debbie's, quote, right equipment. So I don't remember where that's from.
Yeah, first I want to apologize because I completely forgot that we had said we were going to post any recipes. But I also want to make the statement. It's not like I have any fondue family recipes to share with you all. If I did, I would. But most of my recipes I just find online. But I will see if I can find
your favorites.
Either the chocolate or chocolate and cheese that I did. Because the oil, I don't do anything special with the oil.
Yeah, we'll get that.
Add stuff. So
we'll get that. And Sarah, we'll get that posted online for you. We'll also get a list of Debbie's equipment. We'll put that on there as well.
Was the right equipment in reference to the fondue? Because I'm a little scared.
Well, what was interesting, Sarah put that in quotes. So again, a double entendre. I'm just saying. So, yep. You know, our listeners are starting to get cheeky, which is fantastic. So it's great.
I love it. All right.
It's great. Anonymous in Cincinnati, Ohio writes, again, another anonymous. You all are my weekly therapy session. Thank you for the hour-long laughs every show. That's pretty good.
You're welcome.
And then
We're here
Denny
for
G
you.
got a great email from the Department of Entomology.
No, entomology.
Thank you, entomology. Which I had to look this up, by the way. Apparently, it's the study of bugs.
Yes, of
in
course.
Cornell University. I didn't know that.
I can't. I just can't with you.
Debbie, I'm just proud that he got the study of. Correct. All right.
That's true.
All right. That was.
So on the last show, Denny G had on his background, if you're on YouTube, you see this, but we also talked about it. He had sliced a banana in half, and he posted the picture, which was it. I described it as
one there.
Yeah.
That one there. I had described it as someone looked like they stuffed the banana with pralines and cream ice cream. Is what it looked like to me. So we got this email about this. Hey, Denny G, that banana was home to nematodes, a type of nematodes, a type of roundworm that burrows and lives in bananas and leaves behind its skin and debris. Don't eat those.
No,
that's from Cornell University. So,
thank you very, very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Cornell.
How cool.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. It's kind of funny, the variety of people who listen to us. It's great. We can ask any kind of question. I got a hangnail. What should I do for it?
No, we don't have hangnails. We have clean nails. Remember?
That's right.
Yeah.
Nails.
No fungus, no hangnail. No,
that's true.
Perfect.
Nothing's wrong. Right. Nothing's wrong. Yeah. You too can be featured. That's by the way, those were all not received this week. I get those and I just kind of keep them and then go through them once in a while. But you can always write us at podcast@DennisGeorgeShow.com and we will get around to the better ones for sure. No more clown porn. We can stop sending that. I'm going to put that out there again.
You're gonna get more now because you brought it up.
I also
every time you say no, you get more.
It's true. Also, don't need to
Gotta say your safety word.
I don't open video attachments, so you can also stop sending those. I'm just pointing that out as well. So I just won't open them. So that's what I got. So great show. We're gonna do a little apology. Yeah, Debbie. Yeah.
Before you go, I just want to say for listener email, I just want to say thank you all for listening and or watching and for participating, because I will be the first to tell you this is how we are all the time. And the fact that anybody out there appreciates this, thank you. Thank you and thank you.
Validate my life.
What I'm noticing, Debbie, is the cream rises to the top. So, our better listeners are listening and they're participating, which is fantastic.
So if the cream rises to the top and y'all kept jacking things up last week, what does that say about me?
Yeah, you're the creme de la creme,
I know,
Debbie.
Double entendres and, Cuba.
Fantastic.
Dennis has his word of the day now, double entendre.
It's true. I looked it up. I was like, I knew what it meant, but I needed to look it up for validation to make sure that I referred to it properly. That's all. Yeah.
Good recovery.
Thank you. Yeah. Sam has this week's apology list.
We have to apologize to women and how they were not treated well in Handmaids. And for we have to apologize to women for Mitch's comment about heavy flow days.
Yeah.
We have to apologize to Debbie because we really messed up format of the last show and so many things.
We went to town on Debbie in the beginning of the show, man. It was.
We got to apologize to Debbie for the comments that Dennis made about Debbie.
Yeah.
We have to apologize to Australia because we told people never to go there. We also should probably apologize to the BDSM community about all the knots and burns and things. Safety.
This is like the second or third week in a row we've had to apologize.
Yeah, BDSM community. We have to apologize to preppers. We do apologize. You should continue your prepping because you may need these things. Spear fishermen, we're going to apologize to you. We're going to apologize to babies because we eat you with chips and lots of butter. We're going to apologize to Florida. You are our lane, but we love you.
You keep dissing all over Florida, all over Cuba.
Yeah.
And therefore, we're going to apologize to Cuba for our behavior in this matter.
We're going to apologize to moms. And we're also going to apologize to entomologists. We're also going to say a special thanks to Flowbed for listening to us.
Yeah.
And to Cornell.
Right. I feel so much smarter that we have a university listening to us. So I'm just saying.
And a good one. And a really good one, too. All right.
Like official show fact checkers.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm sure they will put that on their website.
I did have to point out to my family when I was home, I was talking about the podcast and I made a comment about how we had talked about West Virginia in one of our earlier shows. Then we got an email from somebody at the Department of Tourism in West Virginia.
Yes.
Fantastic. It's fine.
Wonderful. We have a varied crowd of listeners, and we thank
We
all,
love
each and
every one of them.
you.
So if you're a spearfisher, podcast at DennisGeorgeShow.com.
Teach Dennis how to spearfish, and
Right.
we'll have a charity event. All right.
He wants lessons.
Dennis, where can they hear us or watch us?
I don't know, Debbie. Where can they? We're everywhere. Find us on wherever your podcasts are. Also on YouTube, we have our own channel. Like us and subscribe. And we also have a Facebook page and a Twitter account as well. That's all for this episode. We will catch you all next time.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Love you all.
Join us again next time for another edition of The Dennis George Show. Thanks for watching.